what are some, let's say, one exercise that you might take someone through to just begin to learn to breathe from their diaphragm?
Diaphragmatic breathing is one of those funny ones in the sense that it's always working. If it wasn't working, you wouldn't be breathing. Like, it is the primary mover and it is the primary job. It's just sometimes it gets clouded by our use of accessory muscles. So simply placing two palms either on the side of your belly button, so like on your oblique kind of area, or making a little C grip with your hands and cupping the bottom of your ribs, trying to set your shoulders down and find this elongated posture, and then trying to inhale and only focus on your ribs expanding outwards is a really easy place to start. And what's even more important is once you've felt your ribs flare out, that's one thing. But as you'll find out over this podcast, if I get my point across that I want to, your exhaling is everything. Exhale is the goal, and that's when they should come back together. Cinch our waist. As you can see in that video, my ribs really flare open, and more importantly, they almost accordion back together. Doing 15 or 20 of those while you're sitting by the pool or before you start to go anywhere, and starting to feel this very two-dimensional idea, although breathing is very, very three-dimensional. By just simply focusing on this lateral expansion, this lateral movement, this is where most people are restricted, particularly if we're looking at swimmers or triathletes who have limited overhead range and they often feel really tight through their side body. Just starting to open that up. And you mentioned in your email, and it's very true for breathing and everything really, it's the balance of relaxed and active movements. Most people, when they breathe, are just too stiff. All the outside superficial stuff needs to be soft. You need to feel this expansion grow and build from the inside. And that's why I said a sponge before as well, because if you imagine our lungs as balloons, balloons are flimsy and easy to collapse. A sponge soaked full of air, those little air pockets, our alveoli, they're backed on top of each other and they create this giant surface area. Like if you were to flatten our lungs out for gas exchange, it's the same size as a tennis court, right? But if we aren't fully expanding and fully contracting, we aren't letting air inflate all of those, and we aren't using that inherent force we can produce and actually breathe. Like most people struggle to breathe with the tiniest of weights on their chest. Yet I'll work with fighters next door and myself, and we have to try and find a breath while someone's trying to tie us in half like a pretzel. We can't be in a perfect, perfectly stacked pelvic and rib position all the time. We have to be able to breathe in compromised positions as well. And if you can't breathe sitting down and you can't feel that expansion sitting still or laying down, for you to expect your body to find that kind of space and utilize this gas exchange efficiently under pressure or stress, whether it's physical or emotional, how do we do that? So that's why everything starts seated, everything starts calm, and we build our way to more and more challenging things, such as breathing through your nose and going for a walk and trying to breathe in for 4 and out for 4 while you walk, and think, Jesus, that's difficult.
Yeah, I like that approach. I have a similar approach when it comes to people going from being a pool swimmer and they want to learn to swim open water. So just start with the most basic, the easiest possible version of that. And then progressively, we can just expand what our comfort zone with